Hello, everyone. I'm Heidi, and with me is Fadista, and we're just going to do a quick update a little bit with things and then go to our Let's Get Deep questions, because we didn't want to go a week without being with y'all, and so here we are. So I'm just going to give a little quick check-in, which is it's freaking hot in Philadelphia. Vanessa and I were talking about this a few moments ago, how, we have our homes as comfortable as they can. And I just noticed that I am much happier if I'm cooler and comfortable, as opposed to schwitzen and all that kind of thing in a humid home. So I'm just really grateful that I have AC, that I have access to it. And I would just be curious to hear from y'all if you want to share how you manage in the heat, how you survive it, how you're getting through it. And if you have a pool, good for you. I'm really thrilled that you're able to dip into something. Anyway, so that's my mini check-in. Thanks.
Thanks, Heidi. It's sweet to hear a mini check-in. And yeah, just where am I? I find that the heat, I don't want to say it takes something from me, but I think it does. I think it feels like in my body when there's too much heat out there and I don't have the temperature, and this isn't everyone, I lose capacity pretty quickly. Like my brain gets a little mushier, my body's not happy. And so I'm just really grateful for ways to condition the air while obviously being mindful not to overdo it. I would like the heat to be over for a couple days. I will take a cold, rainy 60-degree day. Would be nice. Just a break.
Yeah.
But I think Friday till now has been this way. So it's more the cumulative for me than if it was like one day here, one day there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just appreciating the conversations that we get to have as friends. How meaningful it is to have your support, especially like even recently.
Yeah.
Very recently. And yeah, just for those that have followed us, and maybe those who are just going to watch this little snippet, just what it means to be in good, secure friendship, allyship. Yeah, I don't really have words for it. It means too much for mere words to really describe. So thank you.
Same. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so without those words, let's just feel it, right? Like, let's allow ourselves to feel it, because at the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about, is to know that this is secure. We've created a foundation, we've created the structure, and we can really bring ourselves to it all the time and all the stuff. Yeah.
And I'm wondering, even before we go into our chat, our questions, is if we could just name a few things that make it feel secure.
I would love that.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Name a few things that make it that. So, well, the commitment and the consistency. So you and I spend time and negotiating and out, like what time we're going to meet and the day we're going to meet, and we put it on our calendars, and it's a priority for us. For me, that's huge.
Yeah, that was going to be my word, was consistency, because that has me feeling security, and it also means I know I'm going to see you, which is also comforting. I find that this feels secure to me because I've watched us move through crunchy conflict. And I just have a great deal of trust in us and whatever comes up. And that feels different, to be like, oh, we've weathered a few things. So I know we can.
Yeah. I want to add that I can show up and I'm not sure why I'm laughing. I can show up however I need to show up or however I want to show up. And when it's interesting because when we see each other on camera, because we're about 200 miles apart, when we see each other on camera, I have to say anything that was maybe hanging on my back or whatever literally disappears. I'm like, oh, there's my friend that I love and adore and trust and want to be with and love talking to. And like all of that, just it lifts it. And even if I would bring that into the conversation, I know that I would be held in a really safe and sacred way where only if I were to ask for advice, you would give me advice. And also you would be really, I feel like you would be really even careful with that. Yeah.
Yes, because I trust you and I trust you have your back. And so I'm more of like when you really don't feel resourced and want support with what to do. But otherwise, I trust your process. Yeah. Thanks. I feel the same. I feel like when I see you, that first, I don't know, 10 seconds
Yeah.
when I see you, I feel like, I don't know, the little girl in me who's like getting ready for a sleepover. It's that kind of excited, innocent, yeah, just happy to see my friend energy.
Yeah.
And then on the, the flip side of my own experience is like, I only cry around people I feel safe with.
Mhm.
I could be having a really hard day, but if I don't feel safe, that won't come. Like it won't happen. So the times I've come in here after a conflict or something hard in my life and just been like a messy crying, what do they call it? Ugly crying. Is that the term?
Yeah, but I don't like that term. I
I
think
don't
it's
like that
just,
term either. Let's change.
yeah.
I think it's this surrendered crying.
Oh, that soothes my soul. I love that. Yes.
Where I can fully surrender to my emotions and to what's happening and just because it's so safe, like just surrender it here, just drop it at the altar and be like, yeah, this is hard for me right now.
Yeah.
And I think the piece that is surprising to me is in the past, I would have a vulnerability hangover if I did that with people. And I never feel that way because I feel so accepted by you. And I feel so gotten, even in like the hard stuff, that more than anything, I feel validated and cared for. So I never leave going, oh God, was that too much? Or like I don't feel that way. And that's a huge gift.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, friend. That feels really good just to name some. I
Yeah.
know there's more, but to just name some of that.
Yeah.
For our audience too. Like, listen, conscious friendships and secure friendships, like they take work, but holy shit, the rewards of
Huge.
building them.
Huge. Yeah. Yeah. So I realized I don't know that I said the name of our podcast, even though I'm like, I'm Heidi, this is Fidista. Anyway, this is Fierce Honest Hearts. I'm like, did I say it? Did I not say it?
That's okay.
It is what it is, right? Okay. So since we're keeping this short, we're just going to go into the cards, into the deeper cards. And yeah, so let me know.
Is it middle finger? That one. Okay.
This is my pointer.
Okay. Keep
Is
going.
that the card?
No,
No.
I was just trying to figure out which one.
Okay.
That one.
This one or this
Uh-huh.
one? This one.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
oh
What is
no,
the-
what's that face?
I know, I don't like this. I'm just gonna say I don't like the question, but I'm okay. Wow, this is deep. What is the absolute worst thing you've ever done? Or What is the absolute worst thing you think you've done?
I think as it relates to my values now, right? Because we can be different people in our
Yeah.
res. I feel like the worst thing, I look back and I'm tracking it by regret more than anything,
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
blame others, like blame my partner, make him feel bad. You know, these are exes, obviously.
Mhm.
Put all the responsibility on them and take no ownership on my side. I think that's probably my biggest regret is, yeah, the way I could victim really well, using it as a verb, and how then I must have made people feel that I actually truly loved and cherished because I didn't have the maturity and the tools to look at my side of the street. And that feels like the worst thing I've done in my life is
Yeah.
make other people feel responsible for what was mine to own.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what is the absolute worst thing I've ever done? I'm going to say ditto, but I'm going to add to it. I'm going to, give a little more context. So, betrayal, and not owning up to it. And after the truth was figured out or found out, there was no apology on my end, or I was like, oh God, did I like that whole thing? And this is, I mean, it's been a journey, it's been a process. And I would say most of that happened before I was 40. Like most of it happened before I started really doing a lot of really deep, hard work on myself. And so betrayal and dishonesty, I feel like go hand in hand. So that is a huge part of it. And I'm like, I really didn't like myself then. Like there was something like that I'm really realizing. And so talk about like the absolute worst thing I've done. That really bleeds into it, like not liking myself.
Mm.
And the not liking myself is because I don't think I knew who I really was. Like I've known for a long, long time that I have a good heart, but to feel safe enough to be vulnerable or to just be, even if I'm scared, be vulnerable, right? Like I have moments like that and I'm like, oh God. And then we talk about a vulnerability hangover. Like we've brought that up a few times in our discussions and with ourselves. And I'm like, oh God, that feels so crappy, right? Like there's so much attached to this. And I feel like, throughout my life, I hope that I have apologized. At this point, I hope that I've apologized to people that I owe an apology to. And if I haven't, I'm just going to ask the universe to forgive me. Like I'm asking for your grace to forgive me in this lifetime, because that's all I can really offer right now. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's a heavy question, but I understand how it can bring people closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because in that, if I hadn't done those things, I don't know that I would have found myself in the teachings and in the growth opportunities
Yeah.
that brought me here, where it's like unconscionable
Unconscionable. Mm-hmm.
to do that again.
Right. Yeah. And speaking of apologies, I realized I've been putting this off for about 3 days. There's someone I owe an apology to, and I'm like, let's clean that up. It's not even a big deal. Let's just do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to do
I
it.
love that. Okay, I'm digging this. I do feel like there's someone I could own something with. like
Mhm.
I'm gonna say own dropping them a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah,
Because my own strategies were online,
right.
not like, oh, I'm just gonna drop you, but
Yeah,
ooh, I
yeah,
dropped something.
yeah. And for this apology, it wasn't a lot that it wasn't like I had to really hold up the mirror that closely. I knew as I was doing, I'm like, Heidi, you know, you you wouldn't want this response. So why are you putting it out there? Like that whole thing. Oh yeah, I've been like, okay, let's clean it up because I know that this person will really appreciate it. And it's not going to take, it's not like we're in a disagreement, but when this person said to me, that won't work for me, I was like, wow, okay. I was like, it wouldn't work for you either, Heidi, would it? No, it wouldn't. Oh, right. So coming back, it's really about us. We are our own crap. Like we are our own, like when we're messy, we're messy. And yeah, I really gonna clean that up.
What a world we could live in if everyone just took ownership for their part,
Yeah.
didn't own all of it, wasn't over responsible, but just
Right.
owned like, here's how I contributed
Yeah.
to that dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a really genuine way. Yeah.
And self-aware.
Yes.
Goes a long way to me. Hmm. Thanks,
Thank
friend.
you. Thank you, friend. I'm so glad that we did this. This is really sweet.
Hmm.
And until next time, we look forward to hearing from you. If you want to hit subscribe, leave a comment. We welcome all of it.
Lots of love to you guys. Let us know how this lands for you.
Mwah. Bye, everyone.